Welcome to Dudley's Range Rogues. We're going to talk about constitutional carry part 2. Now, if you haven't watched the first video, it'll be linked in the description below. And that's where we go through all the history until we get up to 2021, which was a really big year. Before I go any further, I need you to do me a few favors. Please subscribe, comment, like this video, share it with your friends on social media. Join NAGR, but especially we need you to be a subscriber. Hit that bell so you're notified when there's a new video out. We need more friends and activists and patriots as subscribers on this channel. We're growing fast and we need your help. And that comes to 2021. The best year we've ever had passing constitutional carry. Now remember, 2021, the year when Antifa was kind of going crazy and there was a lot of uncertainty with COVID, and it was a weird year anyway, but we put the pressure and really added the thumb screws to Utah. You'd think a slam dunk state, but again, the self-appointed experts on guns had passed in previous years, had passed bills or advanced bills that were kind of constitutional carry. One of them, silly as it might sound, that they tried to pass, allowed you to carry concealed only if it wasn't loaded. No, what? Yeah. And that's the kind of stuff you get from gun experts whose egos can't really allow the fact that their citizens just want this passed and they don't give a rat's butt. I think his name was Odie, but thankfully that odious person was gone from the legislature there and passed it in 21. Then, speaking of odious people, Montana. Now, Montana had passed it before, but it was vetoed by an NRA-rated governor. And so they've been kind of stymied by these so-called gun people who got in office with an NRA rating. And of course, they had the attitude that anybody, Montana has to be pro-gun. You know you're in trouble when people think that. In these photos, you can see Brennan Boudreau, who's our director of field operations. He did the lion's share of the lobbying work to pass this constitutional carry bill and oppose the bad amendments that inevitably get attempted on it. There was a local guy who's been up there forever named Gary Marbett. When we started pushing constitutional carry again, Gary Marbett started sending nasty grams to our office and to me saying, "How dare you come up here and stick your nose in our laws?" And I'll quote his actual email to me, and I can give you the date. You can see it right here. He said, "Constitutional carry is impossible without a change in the Montana Constitution first." Now, what happened then just a few months later? Yeah, it actually passed. And it's law. Governor Gianforte signed it. And in other words, Gary Marbett was full of crap. That's usually what you find when you see these long-time lobbyists there who don't actually believe in freedom. They believe in their own egos, and they believe in, "I'm here, don't you come and tell me from another state?" I don't even get that. Because when you don't show up from another state, then they say, "Why haven't you come here to help us?" That's the kind of crap you get. Then, in 2021, Iowa passed it. Now, I can tell you that most of the credit goes to Iowa gun owners, and I'll take the credit for that since I actually am the founder of Iowa Gun Owners, as well as one of our staff members, Luke Odell. And Luke was one of the first staff members for NAGR, and Luke and I formed Iowa Gun Owners, and that's really the group that did most of the heavy lifting to pass constitutional carry in Iowa. Again, good old boys, NRA board members, Kane Robinson, and those kind of guys all fought against it. Tennessee, I think we got to give a lot of credit to Tennessee Firearms Association. They're a great group in Tennessee, and NAGR worked very hard on that. It wasn't a great law. It was a decent law, and you got it counted in the win column, but barely. And then we come to the Mac Daddy of them all, Texas. Understand that NAGR has been operating in Texas for a very long time. We have Texas gun rights. We've had leaders there. We spent a lot of time there. We picked a lot of fights, but Texas has a veto-proof, massive majority state house and state senate. And guess what? the Republicans wouldn't even let it get a committee hearing. And so we kept pushing and pushing and pushing after many years and a lot of money, including running staff members there, picking fights with two different speakers of the House, picking fights with Democrat committee chairs. Why would they be committee chairs, you might ask? How could a Democrat be a committee chair in a state legislature that has Republican majorities, even super majorities? Well, guess what? The fools who assigned the committee chairs wanted to give their buddies a committee chairmanship. And it just so happened one of them was a Democrat. And so that fight took a long time. Our sponsors started getting strong-armed. We had a great sponsor in Jonathan Stickland. We've had a lot of great people who've worked on this. But I'm going to give the lion's share of the credit to my staff, and that is Chris McNutt, and then later Bethany Young. And those people worked very hard on passing Texas. And of course, Texas is the biggest state, most populous state in the nation to pass constitutional carry. And remember that Texas was all hat, no cattle. It was one of those states in which everybody says it has great gun laws, but it actually didn't. Texas has pretty weak gun laws. And frankly, it took this bill and other bills in the future here to make it better. Well, here you can see the map at the end of 2021. Now, those are a lot of states, but we're gonna have updates later on 2022 because there have been some major updates. Some people might ask, okay, what's next? What are the next states we're looking at? Well, right now, as I record this, Georgia very well could get a bill. So could Indiana. So could Ohio. We're pushing really hard in South Carolina and Florida. Alabama could get it. Even Louisiana would have it, except the Dem governor vetoed it last year. And so there are a lot of them on the cusp. Let me tell you what the real trick to passing it, number one, is citizens need to push it really hard over and over again and not give up. We could have given up in Texas. It looked like there was no hope in Texas. But for you to pass it into law, first thing you need to do is get a recorded vote and see how people actually vote when they're forced to. Two is don't give up, keep coming back year after year until it passes. And three, don't give in to the compromises. Don't take a really half-baked version of it. You'll regret it. And at some point, a lot of our people, meaning semi-gun people who frankly don't really want to pass it, they just want to give cover to their friends in the legislature, yeah, they'll cut deals and take a quarter of a loaf. And I encourage activists, don't accept anything less than real constitutional carry. Well, now you heard it from the horse's mouth about constitutional carry. It's a lot of work to pass these things, and frankly, it's a lot of history. I'll stand by for part 3 because we hope to pass some in the future, and we'll bring a video on that. So thank you for watching.